Good morning, everybody, or I guess if you're watching this in the afternoon or evening, good evening or afternoon to you as well. This is a PGA model breakdown here for my model on Awesemo.com. This is a premium feature on Awesemo.com, so if you're not already an Awesemo Plus member, it's a great time to do so. You're going to get all of the information I'm about to share with you and so much more, just $8.95 for the week. And guess what? That week, that's going to take you through Wednesday of the Masters, so you're going to get almost all of the pre-tournament content for that. So a great time to join. And of course, if you want to join us for the rest of the PGA Tour season, which has 4 weeks in it, join us for the month, $29.95 for the month. So, all right, let's jump in and get my ugly mug off the screen here and go into my model this week. And of course, this is what you're going to get if you download this into Excel from our webpage. You're going to get this page to load up first. Of course, if you are just going on the Awesemo website to the model that I post, this is what you will see as well. Okay, let's jump right in, as this is the front page, as I mentioned. What we're going to do here is just going to go quickly over what my model has to offer. Then we'll go into who it likes this week and the projected ownership as well. So, okay, first page, we're going to get, of course, the golfer's name, and then we're going to get the official World Golf Ranking, the model and make your own model rank. That's what MYOM stands for. I'll show you that slide in a second. Of course, odds, salaries, ownership, the ratings. So this is what I put into Fantasy Cruncher each and every week. I'll show you that slide as well. Then we got some strokes gained information from last year and this year, some other stats, some approach proximity, some recent form. Course history would go there if we have it. We don't have it for this week. And then some DraftKings points and field rank for quite a while there is on that front page. Okay, the next one is strokes gained database screener. This is a great one. Now, we didn't have any strokes gained information for last week, so this is up to date. And if we want to just go see, what somebody like Martin Laird did to get his win a couple of weeks ago, we can see he pretty much did it everywhere with his approach. And in fact, his approach had been good 3 straight weeks since returning to play. So I like that tab for this. Okay, now the combined models for Fantasy Cruncher. This is what is going to be what I go and calculate. Here's the model to make your own model. Even Awesemo's rank, and then I combine them. I copy these 2 columns, A and E. And because Fantasy Cruncher has runs on the software where you need them to be right next to each other to copy it, so you copy P and Q into Fantasy Cruncher. And that is what I do each and every week. Okay, now going into the tabs here just quickly. The algo points, this is where each player, you can see what each player is getting for each category. Make your own model rank. That is, you can change each category that I have. You can change the attribution points to it. So if you don't want to know anybody recent form and you just want to go off of OWGR, you would change the numbers in the red. It'll populate a new rating in R. And from there, you go and you copy the combined models for Fantasy Cruncher and load it up and see what you get for your lineups. Then we go just quickly, OWGR, strokes gained ranks by field. This is just each individual category. If you want to go see some more statistics, I have just more than just the 4 I give you on the front page. Approach proximity, I give you 2 years instead of just the 1 year that I give you on the front page. Course history, we don't have any this week. And then my recent form. This is my recent form sheet that, of course, if you follow my content, you'll know it. Last 2, DraftKings database and model, and then, of course, the ownership database and projected model. So, okay, that runs through what you see in the model. Now, let's go and see who the model likes this week. We'll first start with the make your own model, and I think there's no surprise with Dustin Johnson being an 8-1 favorite. He's going to be number 1 in it. In fact, funny enough, though, probably because DJ hasn't played in 4 or 6 weeks, the make your own model is liking Ty Hatton. They flip-flop 1 and 2. But let's round out the top 10 in the model rank, and then we'll do the 10 in the make your own and compare the 2. So we've got Tony Finau, Russ Henley, Hideki Matsuyama, Scotty Scheffler, Victor Hovland, Doc Redman, Lanto Griffin, Sergio Garcia, Lee Westwood as the top golfer under 8,000 this week. Sungjae Im also finds the top 12. Second guy, if you're not a fan of Lee Westwood, would be Eric Van Rooyen, so 2 Euro guys. And if you're not a fan of either Euro guy, Mackenzie Hughes and Kevin Streelman would be the top rated in the model. Now, when we switch over to make your own model, gives us a little bit different rank here. Only big change is Shane Lowry. Adam Scott, Sungjae Im, and Brooks Koepka, all of them jump into the top 10, pushing guys like Doc Redman and Scotty Scheffler out of it. We see other big movers like Jordan Spieth moving up into the top 13. and while Russell Henley, Lanto Griffin, Victor Hovland move out of the top 20. So probably just a little bit, just a different way that the model projects out the points. That's why I like to combine them all. So I think it gives me a little bit, or aggregate them all, if you want to use that word. That's been a buzzword, if you will, in the DFS industry recently. I like to aggregate them just to see. I think it gives a little bit more balance. Won't be too heavy because, if I ran it just off the make your own model, I'd get Shane Lowry in every lineup for the fact, or Lee Westwood in every lineup. So I want to make sure that's a little bit balanced. I can also do that in Fantasy Cruncher and say that I only want a maximum of 20% of each person in the lineup. So a lot of ways to handle that, and that's why I actually do end up running a bunch of different crunches to see what I'm getting. Okay, now let's go to ownership here, and then I'll wrap it up with a few other tidbits that I have in here. So ownership top this week, we've got DJ coming in at 30, Ty Hatton 23, Scotty Scheffler 20, Henley, Matsuyama, Hovland, Im, Scott, all coming in above 15% this week. And even Tony Finau, who seems incredibly low owned comparatively to his peers, or that he's priced in this week, he's actually still going to be number 8th owned this week. Eric Van Rooyen, Danny McCarthy, and Jason Day round out the top 10 or so here, projected at least by my model. I think Awesemo's are a little bit different this week. And, of course, if you want to see Awesemo's top 10, check out my Against the Grain video and podcast that I just put out a couple of minutes ago. So you should be seeing that coming up. So, okay. Now, let's just go into my last thing that I have in this model that I think is really important for everybody to know. If you want to compare priced golfers, a great way to do that is come all the way to the right-hand side of my model and click these tabs over here. This is going to get you, like I said, this is going to get you seeing all of the guys priced, say 7,500 and below, what their rating is, pricing them up next to the other golfers here, and seeing their ownership. So it's a tool that I use a lot when I'm trying to when I'm trying to build out the rest of my lineups. I check and make sure that my ratings aren't too far off or anything like that. So just a few little tips and tricks for my model if you are using it. And, of course, if you have any tips or tricks for me, a great place to find me is on Twitter at DFSGolfer23. If you're not a Awesemo Plus member, if you are, hit me up on Slack through the direct message on Slack. I'm in and out of there pretty much all day, so pretty accessible. So good luck this week, everybody, at the Vivint Houston Open. Next week, it is the Masters. Super excited for that. I'll have my model out super early next week. I'll have most of my content out super early so we can just focusing on absorbing it and absorbing the other content, of course, that the industry what the Golf Channel will be putting out, because I'm sure they'll be on site all next week. So let's win the big one this week so we can have the bankroll to win the mega big one next week, the Millionaire Maker. So until next time, everybody, thank you for joining my PGA Model Breakdown, and we'll see you on the other side. Cheers.